Sneakerheads and basketball enthusiasts alike, this is the only land, and I'm back with a performance review for these here, the Lebron 20s. Before we get into that, do me a favor, hit the like button and the subscribe button if you like what you see today or if you like what you've seen before. Before I get into these, let me show y'all what I have on my feet today and explain to you what I'm wearing on my head right now. So on my feet, I got the Bread 11 lows, or the playoff lows. Today I had my championship game in my men's league, and like this is the type of timing I was on. We got killed by this. We played this team twice before, and I think we beat them. I think we went even, right? 1-1. But this kid was killing us both games. And I said, I'm strapping in. I came to rob this tonight. So that's why I had this on. I just had to, just pull something a little special out. Let them know what type of time we were on to win that chip. Anyways, that's a whole different topic. I don't even know why I did all that. Let's move on to these sneakers here. Alright, on to the sneakers. These is alright. Let's start off with the traction. So for the traction here, you have some sort of storytelling. I will give you guys images of that. I think I gave you guys images in the first video. Technically that video's not even out yet, but I'm pretty sure I gave you guys images in the first video of that. I'll throw up either the same images or I'll put more images on here. The traction actually picks up an insane amount of dust. It's crazy. If you're on a dirty court, it's gonna pick up an insane amount of dust, but it doesn't really get that, to be honest, it doesn't really get that slippery. And then if you give it a good wipe, you're good for quite a while. And this is not like okay traction. This is very, very good traction. I was kind of surprised. I feel like, maybe Nike is starting to get the what do you call that? The rubber compound together. Not many misses recently. Nothing that's too terrible. This is really good. The traction on these, very good. Clean court, just takes a wipe. Just one wipe for the entire time. It's crazy, honestly. It's crazy how just one wipe and you're good. You don't even realize I'm not wiping the sneakers. Like, I'm playing full games and I'm not wiping the sneakers. I did have one time, and that was the time before tonight. I said there was a lot of wiping, but the court is actually really terrible over there. We were actually talking about doing the court over because it's just that bad. The court is really that bad, so you do need the wipe just because of the court. But besides that, you give that one solid wipe and you wipe me straight for your whole time. And I go from playing basketball for an hour to 4 hours at a time. So if I'm wiping it one time in 4 hours, I'm telling you, this traction, bro. This traction is very good. Moving on up, we could go to the cushioning. I did discuss the cushioning in the last video as well. I believe you have a combination of Zoom Air and Air Zoom. I don't remember which is which. I know there's one in the forefoot and then one in the heel. And that is covered by, actually I have the card here. That's what these are for, these tech cards. And then you got Cushlon, so they're wrapped in Cushlon. So I believe it was Air Zoom in the back, and then it was Zoom Air, or maybe it was Zoom Air in the back and then Air Zoom in the front. Whatever the case is, the cushioning is pretty good. People like to think that LeBrons are like these heavy rocks, and I actually, ironically, today had an argument with somebody for like an hour on Twitter about how heavy these LeBrons were. And to be honest, they were not that heavy. Not even recognizably heavy. And I've tested, you guys have seen me, I've tested a good amount of sneakers in general, but also this year I've tested a good amount of sneakers. They were not that heavy. The Zion 2s were heavier, and I didn't even really feel that. Like, the heel a little bit was like, okay, I can feel this here, but in these, it felt pretty good. The only thing that I guess would have been different is if there wasn't like that torsional bar in there. Then you would have felt like the real flexibility in the sneaker, and you would have been like, okay, wow, these are pretty light. But you're not gonna notice this. I'm 6 foot 1, 160 pounds, and I didn't notice these at all. So if you're anywhere near my height or bigger, you're not even gonna notice what's going on with the weight wise of these. You're talking about a couple grams difference, like 10-20 grams difference between these and some of the other performance models that are out right now. So you're good with that. Cushioning, pretty good. It's not anything crazy. I wouldn't even say it's noticeable most times, but there are times where you're landing and you're like, okay, this feels good. It feels good on my heels. It feels good on my forefoot. There weren't many times where I would say like I stepped off the court and I was like, wow, my feet hurt a lot. That wasn't really happening. I will say there was one time that I tightened these a lot. Like I really wrenched on these, and it felt like my foot was digging into something. But that was only a one-time thing, and tonight I played in these and I really tied these real tight, and I didn't feel nothing like that at all. So that might have just been a one-time thing, and that's why I do put in that many hours into the shoe. I try to put 24. Some of them I hit like 10, 15, like somewhere in there. But I try to put 24 hours into the sneakers, especially if I really like them and I really would have put out a good review. And you get those type of things, right? You get, oh, this happened one time and this happened one time, but like you want to get like some type of consistent, okay, this is how it really performs, and that's why I put in that many hours. But moving on from that, we can go into the material. The material on these, I don't want to keep saying I did discuss, but I did discuss that in the last video, and it's some type of knit material up top, and then it has like a maybe like a nylon below it, like a nylon type sleeve, I guess, because underneath the knit is like a separate layer that you can feel if you put your hands through this, like some type of synthetic, maybe plastic. I'm not really sure what it is. It does feel good. It's not very breathable. I did mention in the Zion 2 performance review, this is maybe like the second or third shoe that I've tested recently where it's like, okay, these are hot. They're nowhere near as bad, but these are hot. Like I can feel these are hot. I don't have many complaints about it, but if it's noticeable and your socks are sliding, which did happen I think once or twice, it's like, all right, we could have done a little bit better. But I do really like the material. And the best thing about the material, I think, honestly, is when you pull it out the box, you're like, wow, these are super stiff. Crazy how stiff they are. And you can literally feel as you're playing in the sneaker how the materials loosen up when they heat up. It's crazy. Because these were like, bro, look at this. You can see me put my finger in there, and you can see the indents I made in the sneaker. It was not like that at all. This was like, I'm trying to find something thick. This is like a boot, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is like a boot. You're pressing that boot and that thing's not moving. It was stiff like that. Pause. And once it heated up, it was really good. Especially, so like the toe box and the forefoot area, all that was good. And then it keeps like a solid, it stays solid around the back. I'm sure there's something in there to prevent that from loosening up as much as it should. But man, the material, I feel like this is one of the best materials in quite a while. Since, what were those 2K Lebrons that I had? I don't remember the number. I think that was maybe 3 Lebrons ago. I think it was 3 Lebrons ago. So the 17s, it was either the 17s or the 16s. I'll put the image up. I love that material as well. I think it was like Battle Knit or something like that. I was a big fan of that. This is really nice. The material on this is very nice. For lockdown, you do have flat laces. Y'all know how I feel about flat laces. I really hate flat laces, but I usually hate flat laces because the tongues are like so thin, and the tongue on this was not super thick, but it did have this material on there, and then it does have something underneath. So there's no real digging in there, because like I said, there is this material and then there was the material underneath, and that's the same thing on the tongue. I have stuff just all over the shoe, and that's the same thing on the tongue. So you do have that added protection, and you even no matter how tight you tie it, you're not gonna feel any digging into your foot. And the best part about that is the tongue. there's like this little, you guys can see it, right? There's like this little space here. And when you tighten it, it's gonna end up right under there, and it locks you in so amazingly. Like, I don't know if they understand how smart this was. Like, this little piece here, it's like a little lip, and it holds the laces in place. Bro, this tongue is so good. Pause. I can't think of one that's comparable, to be honest. Right now, I just can't think of a tongue that's comparable. I know Lebron, I think it was the last 2 models, they had like those little air bubbles. I guess they were working with something similar, and it was something a little similar, but it's nothing like this. It's nothing like this. This is it's very good for lockdown. In the back though, like I was saying, you do have that little plastic cup back here. You can literally feel it if you try and push your hands in there, and I mean, it keeps you locked in. I remember just one instance where I felt like, okay, I'm gonna absolutely slip out of these sneakers, and I think I hadn't tied them too tight, and that was really the only thing. Like, I was a little nervous, to be honest, the first time, because I believe I almost rolled my ankle, and I was like, oh, this is crazy low. And I played in all types of sneakers, so like it was strange for me how low these were. Maybe it was because how low and then how much they weigh. I don't know, but it was a little weird in the beginning, or that one instance. But besides that, no issues with lockdown at all. Tied them tight, tied them loose. All of them were pretty damn good. It was good, man. It was good. Let me chill. Hold on. Let me see what else I got before I give you guys my final take on these. What I will say, when you first put your feet in these, I did say that it was stiff. It's gonna feel like it's running a little tight for wide footers. It's gonna loosen up. It's gonna loosen up. I went half a size down because LeBron's usually run big, and I feel like maybe you should go in stores because I don't have a good idea of how that works. I've got an 11, and the 11 did fit good for me. So maybe I'd say half a size down, but if you can, go and try them on the stores because the material, like I said, is stiff, and if you get a half a size down and your feet are too wide, that break-in period might be a little bit too much. So if you can, walk into stores. I did it. I walked into stores and I was able to just try them on, and I do enjoy it. I think that's it, honestly. I think I covered literally everything. I went through my notes, pretty much hit every topic there. If you guys want to know more, feel free to hit me in the comments. I respond every time, usually within like an hour or two, to be honest. I respond pretty damn quickly. I'm always on my phone. These are good, man. These are very good. That best basketball sneaker of the year video is coming up, and I'm not gonna tell you what my favorite sneaker of the year is, but this is up here. This is a good contender. I have to go back into my notes, like I said, and look through all of what I have. But this is a big one. I don't feel like I tested it. At the end of the year, I always feel like, damn, I didn't test enough because this and this happened, and this and this happened. I'll try better next time, I guess. Next year, I'll try better. But this was a good sneaker. We'll try to get to as much as possible before the end of the year. I was trying to bring my brother in a couple months ago so that he can help me review some of these and we can push it a little bit more out. But I don't know, he's stalling on me. But this is it. Did bring up playoff 11s. This is like a playoff colorway. I don't know how you feel. I did say this was like a championship colorway too in the last video. I don't even remember what the name for these was. I forgot to even look it up after that video. But this is them, the LeBron 20 performance view. Do me a favor, if you like what you guys seen today, or you like what you seen before, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's just the only land, and I am absolutely out of here. Y'all have a good one.